guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our mass making sessions, and what I thought we could do today is make little torn pockets. So I will start in kind of the usual format where I kind of show you what we're doing, and then you can either, you know, follow along or do your own thing. I just want to say thank you so much to Gwendolyn first. She really kindly gifted me these lovely butterflies, and aren't they so pretty? So thank you so much. That's really, really kind of you to have thought of me like that. Gwendolyn comments frequently on videos, and she's always just so nice and so kind. So yeah, thank you so much for thinking of me. She said it was just, you know, I think she said it was a miserable Sunday and she just wanted to, you know, send a little something to everybody. So yeah, thank you so much. I really do appreciate those, and I'll be using them in some projects. If you are crafting along with the mass make, then basically I have brought along a bunch of book pages, and I've got different sizes and styles. I've got these ones which I will probably use to back these ones, if you see what I mean. So, you know, some that I'm not so keen on the appearance of, and obviously some, you know, more regular looking ones. And then what I've also got is a whole bunch of different papers that I will use for my front layer of my pocket, which obviously, you know, until you see the pocket that I'm describing, it probably isn't really making an awful lot of sense. But yeah, so if you want to be crafting along, you will probably need like a variety of papers and just some glue, some scissors, maybe your corner rounder, and then some things to decorate, really. So if we just, you know, move some stuff to one side, and I will just show you basically, you know, the basic pocket. Now I have made these before, not in a mass make, but I have made them before. I think I made some in my Flights of Fancy journal when we did that. So I will just show you. I think also I maybe did them in the 3 and 30 as well. So I'm just going to take a sheet of some book page, and then what I'm going to do is back it onto this book page, which actually I'm going to use this one with the picture. Now I'm just going to raise my camera up slightly because I know I'm always saying this, but I'm just always a bit worried that it's not actually in film, because I try and get it close so you have a good view, and then what happens is it's too close, it's not really capturing everything. So yeah, we'll just do it like this. So all I'm going to do is stick this book page down onto here. Now take the pocket and kind of make it the right height that you approximately want it. So I think probably like that. And then I'm just going to trim it down here along the edge. Actually, I think probably I was better leaving it the whole width, but you know, it doesn't matter. We don't, you know, we don't measure and we don't worry about things like that. So I'm just going to take that. Oh, this isn't a good start, is it? There isn't that much glue left in here, and I have got some more glue to the side of me, so I might just open a new bottle in a minute if this becomes a bit problematic. So we'll just see if unclogging it does the trick. Okay. So this is just to reinforce this so it's not so flimsy, because I mean obviously book page is not, you know, the thickest, is it? So that's all I'm doing this part for. So we'll just pop that down on there. And again, I've just got my little card here that I just like to use as a spreader. So we just then spread that out like that. And then we just cut this down, you know, to the sort of size and shape that you want it to be. Like that. I'm not going to worry too much about the other side, so I'm just going to leave it like this for a moment. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take, this is obviously my patterned piece that I'm going to have over the top. I mean, I have tried to print this on, you know, the 5x7 cards. I know I've talked about them before, that I really like buying those packs really for you know, they're designed for card making, but I really like to buy them because I like the envelopes that come with them. So these are some white ones. You know, this was a pack of white ones, which I have now coffee dyed. And I just ran it through the printer. Now, obviously, I needed to really play around with my printer settings because, as you can see, it's not really kind of come out how I wanted it to come out. But that's fine. So even though I've got this kind of strip here, I'm not too worried because I can always cover that up with a bit of lace or something like that. So I'm just going to go for it anyway. You know, as it is. So I will just cut that down here like that, and then I will just cut along the bottom like that. Okay, so that's my kind of basic pocket. And then all I'm going to do, if you know, remember this from my other video, I just tear a section out like this. So as you've got like a peeky hole through there, which I just think is really nice because you can obviously, you know, put something in here, you know, peeping out. You could put a flower in there or something. Or, of course, you could just leave it as it is. I might just trim this down slightly more, actually, because it's longer than I expected it to look. So if I just trim it down slightly more, I get rid of a bit more of that white or, you know, ivory card. And then, of course, I don't know what that is, but I seem to have a blue blob on there. Then, of course, what you could do is either run this then through your sewing machine on 3 sides. I'm not going to do that. I don't have my sewing machine, obviously, with me. So I'm just going to run some glue, is the plan. Whether or not I do is another thing. There we go. So run some glue straight down around the edge like that, and there, like that. And then we can obviously stick this just literally on top of that book page like that. I'm just going to mop it up with my dry wipe, and then obviously I can just, you know, make sure it's on there how it should be. And then obviously this would then be glued into your journal. You know, I would probably do it on maybe 3 sides. So you'd have a side pocket there, and then you'd have your, whoops, I mean, obviously that's not glued together, but you know, you'd have your top pocket there. So I think they're quite nice, and just another different sort of pockets, which, you know, of course you can just never have enough different pockets, can you? So again, you know, you could go around that if your glue is a bit resistant to sticking, like mine is being right now. You can just go around that and press it with your card there. So that's just, you know, the first one. I'll talk you through another one. I mean, obviously it's not rocket science or anything like that. But I'll just talk you through one more, and then of course, you know, I will be quieter. I won't promise to be quiet, but you know, I will be quieter with regards to the instructions, and we just relax and have a chat, and you know, catch up, see what everyone's been up to, and yeah, hopefully just have a nice time chilling out and crafting together. So again, I'm just doing exactly the same thing. I'm going to trim it down slightly more, I think, in the height. So actually maybe even a bit more too. And then we'll just take it down roughly here. Okay. So I mean, again, this is quite a good one for using up quite a bit of book page, really, because you know, obviously I'm backing this onto sort of scrapbook page, and obviously using the book page, you know, the nice book page, to show through my pocket. You could obviously use book page at the front. Obviously I'm using sort of craft paper, so I mean, you could use your 12 by 12 papers, you could use printables. Mine are printables, and they're printed on like 160 GSM, or it might even be well, actually no, this is that card from the the 5x7 card, so I don't honestly know what thickness that is. I've got to be truthful. It probably is maybe like 200 GSM, possibly slightly thicker actually, because those card packs, the card tends to be quite thick, doesn't it? I mean, basically you're going to want something quite thick, because of course that's your pocket. You know, you don't want it really flimsy because then it could tear, so you want it thicker. So yeah, 12x12 paper pads, something like that would be ideal, because of course they're going to be thicker. If you were using book page, you know, like at the front and like here on the back, you'd probably have to double it up. Yeah, which I mean, I just think that would get a little bit fiddly, because you're going to have to then reinforce it and, you know, kind of thicken it up and things. So I personally would probably avoid using book page, because you know, you're going to have to glue it, and then where you've got your tear, personally my glue would then not be likely to be in the right place. So, you know, that's just my take on it, but of course, you know, give it a try, see what works for you. I mean, personally, I would say that's the same goes for sheet music. Again, you'd have to thicken that up. And yeah, for me personally, that would be a bit of a nuisance. But, you know, play around and see what you like using best. So again, I'm just going to tear this down. And, you know, I mean, literally just tear it wherever you fancy and however deep you fancy. So, you know, you might want a really big tear. You might not want too big a tear. Just play around, you know, and do it exactly as you want it to be. So, I mean, I just think they're quite fun and a different pocket, basically. So, I mean, you could use these like as a journaling card, to be fair, because if you backed these onto like coffee dyed paper instead of where I'm using the scrap book page, you know, this sheet, if that were coffee dyed paper, that could be a little journaling card. So just play around and yeah, use them however you know, suits your needs, really. You know, these are just always suggestions, basically, and you know, I mean, I'm always just so inspired by everybody's amazing comments. You all have such amazing ideas, you know, that I never in a million years have come up with. So yeah, no doubt you will all probably have really fantastic ideas anyway, so you probably don't really need my waffling on. You've probably got a ton of ideas of your own anyway. But so that's that one. And you know, as I say, you can obviously round the corners and things. So on this one, if I just trim it down slightly at this edge, say, just to make it slightly thinner, I might just trim it slightly across at the bottom, like that. Oh, I've made a horrible job of cutting that. You know, I mean, again, you know, if you want to use your paper trimmer, use your paper trimmer. I just personally find that, yeah, a bit cumbersome and sort of in the way, but, you know, do things as you must do them. So, you know, round your corners and things. It all gives, you know, like really subtle differences, but those subtle, you know, subtle differences, they do actually really quite change the look, if you see what I mean. I mean, that's not much of a change just by rounding the corners, but to me that significantly does change the look of that piece, you know. And of course this is different paper, it's bigger, so, you know, like not much of a difference makes a big difference in the result, I think. So yeah, you know, play around, and I'm sure you will be, you know, having loads of fun creating the most amazing things. So, you know, as I say, they're not very complicated. I mean, nothing I ever do is very complicated, so I can probably just stop waffling now, and you know, we'll just relax now, have a chat, you know, maybe get a cup of tea, just have a nice time. So it's a strange day for me today. I've said recently, for some reason I've moved over to filming these on the Monday, like literally just before uploading them, you know, for the Tuesday. I upload them on the Monday night. I don't know quite really why that's occurred, but anyway, that's how I seem to be doing them lately. So as I film this, it's like yesterday for you guys. Yep, so today it was a big day because my daughter's school reopened. Well, I mean, it's been open all the time, but obviously only for like key workers, children. So yep, her school has reopened, and she has now gone back to school, which she was quite keen to do, although I don't know whether the video has gone up. I can't remember what video it was. When she was up here with me, and I said, oh, and you were excited, weren't you? And she was like, I'm a bit nervous. She's a bit nervous because obviously the school sent out a big long letter of guidelines. And one of the guidelines did say, you know, if your child wasn't really abiding by the social distancing rules, they would obviously, you know, not be able to have them in school and they would be sent home. So obviously she got very nervous at that, and, you know, was, yeah, a little bit worried that she would struggle, you know, and be sent home. She, you know, she likes to be a good girl, and she didn't want to be feeling like she would, you know, get into trouble or anything like that. I mean, not that she will, obviously, but you know what children are like. So, yeah, she was obviously a bit kind of, oh no, what if I forget? And it was like, well, you know, I'm sure they won't just instantly say, that's it, you're out. You know, they will give you a few chances and, you know, a few reminders, because you won't be the only person who's, you know, going to forget slightly, and you're not going to forget completely. And I'm sure, you know, the school is very geared up. I mean, they've spent weeks of preparing and, you know, got really good provision in place to really help the children with the social distancing. So, you know, rather than being on a shared table, they're no longer on shared tables and things like that. So, you know, it will be easier. But I mean, obviously we didn't know that when the letter came through. We didn't really know how it would be. So yeah, she was a little bit nervous about things like that. But yeah, so anyway, big day. She went into school. So fingers crossed she's having a nice day. They're going to try and do a lot of the teaching outside. So, I mean, that would be, you know, easier from a sort of germs point of view anyway, because they won't be in a confined space. And, you know, thank heavens the sun is shining and things, so that will be easy to actually do that. Yeah, so I hope she has a nice day. I'm sure she will have a lovely day. But it felt strange because, well, I don't know. It just felt really different to like the summer holidays when they go back to school. And I guess with the summer holidays, you've kind of spent a few weeks getting school uniform and, you know, like getting ready. And it's like, oh, you're going back to school. Whereas this is slightly different because obviously not all the pupils are going back. And the guidelines are very different. I mean, they're not wearing school uniform. They're going in their own clothes. You know, with sort of requests that they do not wear the same clothes 2 days in a row and things like that. So, I don't know. It just felt very, very strange, sort of sending her back. And my my eldest son, he will be back at work tomorrow. So, excuse me. So that's all fine. And then my youngest son, you know, my younger son, he's 13 and he is not back at school yet. I'm not quite sure what the situation is with that. You know, we haven't really heard anything with regards to his year group. So we're waiting to sort of hear, really. So it just, yeah, it just felt a little bit strange, really. But she's only going in a couple of days. I don't know whether I said that already. But yeah, they're kind of operating on a, like a rota. So like a couple of year, well, they've only got a couple of year groups, sorry. They've got a couple of year groups in, and they're doing it in like half classes. So like half the class on 2 days of the week and half the class on the other 2 days of the week. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, you know, those teachers are having to put in a lot of prep, you know, to make the environment safe for the children and things like that. So, I mean, it's a lot of extra work for those teachers. You know, everything's got to be sterilised, you know, and sanitised and things at the end of the day. And, I mean, it's a lot of extra work for them. So, you know, they're doing a marvellous job, really. So, anyway, I hope she has a good day. You know, it will do her good to obviously be back at school because, you know, she's bored at home and she loves school. You know, she really does love school. She wrote a little letter to take in to give to her friend, you know, who she's really missed. And her friend is going to do the same 2 days a week that she does. So, I mean, that will be lovely. And, you know, she was very, very excited to see her friend. So, you know, it really will be nice for her to be back and have a bit of normality. Because, I mean, as well, you know, it's very strange for them, isn't it? You know, all this, what's going on. I mean, it's been strange for everybody, hasn't it? So, yeah, we'll just have to kind of see how it goes. But, I mean, I pray that she has a fantastic day. I'm sure she will have a lovely time. You know, but, yeah, you kind of feel mixed feelings and just hope you're doing the right thing. But I mean, all you can do is, you know, go with your gut instincts, really, can't you? And as I say, I mean, she did want to go back and, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I just hope that we've done the right thing, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to obviously hearing from her when she comes home, hearing what her day was like. No doubt she'll come home absolutely full of it. That, you know, she'll be having her school dinners again, which she absolutely loves. So, you know, just that in itself will be, like, amazing for her. She will be thrilled to bits to be back, just having her school dinners. So, that's without anything else. That's without seeing her friends or anything else. It's all about the school dinner, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm sure she's going to, you know, have had a lovely time. But, yeah, I think probably us parents, we struggle more with it than they do, don't we? And then, yeah, my son is at college today. When I say at college, he's, you know, doing the virtual college thing on his laptop. So he's in his room, you know, which he's been doing every Monday anyway for the last few weeks. So, you know, that's awesome. He's been able to continue with his, you know, his day release course. Yeah, so it's just my youngest son really who we're not sure what's going to be the situation with him. But he's going to do a couple of jobs today. We've got like a wooden planter in the garden, which, I mean, we've had them for a few years. I mean, actually quite a long time, you know, the time flies, doesn't it? So it feels like we haven't had them that long, but actually, well, we've probably had them 9 years, maybe. I don't know, quite a long time anyway, you know, when I actually stop and think about it. So, of course, they've gone, you know, sort of rotten now. And one of them in particular, it's literally collapsed a little bit, well, quite a bit, over the winter. And, you know, when the lockdown first happened, you know, we said, oh, let's replace that. Well, of course, by then we couldn't really get them because the shop where we bought them previously, which is where we'll obviously buy them again, they weren't open. So, yeah, it's taken this long for places to start being open and we can now order like a new one. So we're going to order that. And there's 2 of them. So we're actually going to order them both because the other one doesn't look like it's got an awful lot of life left in it. So probably about another 6 months. So yeah, we're going to just get them both and replace them both. So today his job is to move any remaining plants because a lot of those were like really quite weedy and, you know, overgrown and things like that. So he's going to remove all of the plants from the planter that's now literally fallen apart into the one that's not fallen apart so that we can like dismantle what's left of the, you know, the one that's gone rotten. And while we wait for the new ones to arrive, I mean, it does say they take up to 21 days. and I ordered them last night, so you know, it could be a bit of a long wait. But having said that, I do find a lot of things, they say up to 21 days and then actually they're, you know, a lot quicker. So I'm hoping that that will be the case, and maybe they might be here in sort of 10 days or something. But we'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, there's, you know, there's no big rush, to be honest. Once he gets those plants out, we've dismantled it. At the moment, the rush is if we don't do it quite quickly, the whole thing's going to collapse and we're going to end up with sort of, you know, sort of soil just spilling all over everywhere, which, you know, those jobs that you know need doing and you put off and then don't end up doing, and it ends up being then a bigger job because you haven't done it, because then it will all be everywhere. Whereas if we actually take it in hand and do it, it will be easier. So that's what he's doing this morning whilst I'm doing the video. My husband's obviously working from home, and yeah, my son is obviously, you know, my other son is doing his college work, my daughter's at school, so my middle son, that's his chore, is to move those plants to the one that's, you know, in slightly better shape, and then dismantle that old one and just put it into like a big sort of what would you call it, like a builder's bag it is, where, you know, if you get gravel and things delivered, we had a couple of those left from, oh gosh, years ago. So he's just going to put all the bits in there, and then we can take it to the rubbish dump. So that will be a good job done, and that will obviously keep him entertained. I mean, obviously he has got some schoolwork to do that they're putting up, you know, online for them. But, you know, being a teenager, I'm not quite sure how much time he dedicates to that. So it was best to have a couple of other things lined up for him as well. And he likes doing practical things. He's quite a practical boy. So, yeah, he quite likes the... Well, they both do. They like doing practical things. So, yep. So that's what's going to be keeping him busy for this morning. And then tomorrow, I'm not sure, but I'm sure that I have other jobs that he could be doing. And then, you know, and then my daughter's week will be over because she's there literally for just those 2 days. So, you know, although it seems like a sort of big thing at the moment, like her going back to school, actually, you know, she's barely there and then she's going to be home anyway. So it will fly by. Right, I'm going to do it this way round, I think. I'm just making a whole bunch, you know, in different papers so that I have lots to be getting on with. Yeah, and as for the weather, wow. I mean, actually, it's getting sort of hotter and hotter. And again, we had a lovely day at the beach last week. Well, we had a couple of days at the beach. And, I mean, the beaches were getting pretty busy, I have to say, which, you know, was not great. But luckily, we kind of can go down further to like another bay, not the main area of beach, if you see what I mean. Well, I mean, anyone can go down there, but what I mean is, you know, maybe local people know about it more than sort of other people would know. And because we bike there, it's not like we have to be near the car or anything like that. So we're able to just obviously go with our bikes. Whereas if you've driven, all your stuff would be in the car, you know, but we obviously are, you know, we're on our bikes and all our stuff is with us. So yeah, we were able to kind of go to a bay further down and, you know, to not be near people, because otherwise some of those beaches looked like they were very, very busy. And, you know, I mean, obviously that's just not great, is it? So, yeah. Anyway, but we went on, I think it was Saturday. Oh my gosh, it was just so hot. It was actually like the beach was the only place you could be, really, because, I mean, we live quite near the beach. We're about 8 miles from the beach. My parents literally are like on the road, you know, where the beach is. They're like kind of 2 minutes walk from the beach. So, yeah, just that kind of 8 miles makes such a massive, massive difference, because our garden, you just couldn't be out there. It was like there was no air whatsoever. And, you know, that's being quite near to the coast. So, I mean, if you were any further inland, it must be absolutely horrible. You know, like no air at all. I do notice that, you know, as I get older, I kind of like the heat less and less. I mean, the kids love it. Well, my middle son loves it. My older son, he also had kind of said, oh gosh, you know, it's really hot. And he did say, oh, I'm going to have a whole day without going in the sun once tomorrow. I mean, obviously he's not going to see the sun anyway because he's doing his college work. So maybe subconsciously he was kind of just buying into that. But I think he too felt like he needed a bit of a break from the sun. Because, I mean, it gets to the point where you just think, oh my gosh, I cannot be out there anymore. It's just like too hot. So I think he, you know, he'd reached that point too. And yeah, I had definitely reached that point. So, but yeah, my middle son, he, you know, he was still like, no, I love it, you know. But my daughter, she was finding it very hot. So she was kind of like, oh no, let's go inside, you know. I mean, she's been just in her paddling pool most of the time, but when she's not in there, she doesn't necessarily want to be outside now because it's just like too hot. I'm just wondering whether I could have it. No, it's a bit weird. Yeah, I mean, not that we should complain because obviously we all wait around hoping for summer, but it's so hot. So I'm just trying to think, when we drove to the beach the other day, I think the temperature said it was 27.5 in our garden. You know, like in our driveway when we were kind of just leaving. Sorry, I was just checking the time to see how I was getting on. When we were leaving, I checked the temperature gauge while we were just in the driveway, and I think it said 27.5. So, I mean, that was in the front, you know, the front drive. So, I mean, obviously that's a bit more open. So I suspect that our back garden was probably much hotter because I've said before, it's not a very big garden. And it's quite enclosed. So, I mean, it literally gets boiling out there, literally boiling. But as we got down, you know, nearer to the sea, obviously that temperature dropped a bit, which was, thank goodness, you know, I think it went down to like 23.5, which was a relief to say the least. But yeah, it's been very, very hot. So, I mean, the temperature in the garden, the back garden, probably, I mean, yeah, I didn't have a thermometer, obviously, but I would have thought was kind of verging nearly on 30, to be honest. Which, oh, it was just horrible. Absolutely horrible. And my daughter's now put soapy water in the pool. Yep. She's one of those children who loves playing with water. My middle son was the same. My older son, he, you know, he was never that fussed. But yeah, my middle son was, and she is, you know, absolutely loves getting mucky, loves playing with water and all of that. So yeah, part of her playing with water, obviously, she, unbeknown to me, you know, just obviously squirted. I'm not even too sure what she squirted in there, whether it was, you know, soap or washing up liquid. I'm not too sure. But yep, so that's now, it's not bubbly, you know, it hasn't gone bubbly or anything like that. So she didn't put loads in, but it's now, you know, not so nice to go in, obviously. And she doesn't want to go in it now either because she said it now makes her rich. So, yep. Now need to empty the paddling pool out again and refill it. So that perhaps that will be my middle son's job for tomorrow, is to empty the pool out, give it a quick wipe around, you know, with some cleaner, and then refill it again. It's really annoying. I don't know why she did that, but she does love to do things like that. Well, as lots of kids do, don't they? But, I mean, some kids are really drawn to water, aren't they? And yeah, definitely she is, and definitely my middle son was. So, yeah. Anyway, it's not the end of the world, except for the fact, you know, it's so hot that actually there are times when I would like to go in that pool, and now, of course, nobody wants to go in it. So, yeah, no wonder she was wanting to come inside. She probably thought, oh, ruined the pool now. Can't go in there, I might as well go inside. As we all then thought, you know, she's ruined the pool, we'll just go back inside. So today, I feel like I'm not going to know myself, because I will hopefully be able to get loads of things done. You know, like kind of videos and stuff. And a couple of people have said that my links aren't really working for my shop and my website. I just apologise. I don't know really what happens with me and links, to be honest. I sometimes do them on my iPad, and what happens is, you know, like where I'm logged in as me, it's not the same link then as somebody else going on to something. So like, say if it's my Etsy, it's logged in as me, so it comes up as my link to my shop, which, you know, is different to if you were going on to my shop. So that's the explanation for that. As for my website, who knows why that's, you know, but I think I missed that HTTPS thing. I don't know, but yeah, so I'll try and have a look at that. I also, the Amazon affiliate thing, which, you know, that's just on my website, and I've been meaning for ages to put it onto my, you know, my actual YouTube videos, because, you know, of course nobody's ever really used it on my website, which, you know, that's absolutely fine. I don't really blame people, but I think what's happened is they now seem to have changed their system. I saw something about it and said that, you know, something or other had changed. So when I logged on, all my stuff had gone. So I don't think my links, I don't even know if they work now, the ones that I had set up. So I tried to reset them up to put them into my YouTube description as like a template. And I just couldn't get it to work for the life of me. And in the end, I just gave up, because, you know, you lose the will to live, don't you, after a while, and think, oh, I've not got the foggiest idea how to do this. So I should really spend a bit of time revisiting that and try and work out, you know, what I need to do. Oh, I hate doing things like that. So yeah, although I'm like saying, oh great, I might be able to do all these things, I'm not likely to do them, because, to be honest, you know, I just find things like that really tedious and difficult to do. And so, you know, I can look at them for like 10 minutes and then it's like, oh, I can't get it to work, you know, what should I try now? And then, you know, give up, because it's like, oh, I can't get it to work. I mean, technology is amazing, isn't it? But just sometimes it kind of lets you down completely, and it's like, well, I don't know how to get that working now. So, yep. That's how it is. But yeah, I mean, I do need to do some things like that, but yeah, I probably won't rush to do those today, because as I say, she's only back for 2 days. I don't want to spend those 2 days doing, like, you know, those types of boring things. It would be quite nice to be able to do a couple of videos that I can focus and concentrate on. I mean, you know, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it's just hard to stay focused when everybody's at home. Like today, the house feels quite silent because everybody's obviously doing their own thing. You know, which is really nice. Feels like ages and ages since I've had this this silence. And I know that I said last week I've got loads of stuff planned for my channel, and I was kind of really waiting for things to get back to normal a bit before I could kind of do things, because, you know, then I can focus and concentrate properly. So I've already made a start on something which will hopefully be coming up quite soon, so hopefully that will be fun. And then I have a few other things planned as well, which hopefully will be, you know, also good fun and enjoyable for everybody. But I haven't got around to filming those at all yet. But yeah, I mean, plenty of time obviously to be you know, doing these things. There's no rush, is there? But now I've just got this, which I have been using this for something else. So this is scrapbook paper, but to be honest, it's just laying to the side. So I might as well bring it in and use this because, you know, it gets it off of my desk, and I might be able to just put it into the project that I have been actually, you know, doing. So just going to use this. Yeah, and as I say, I mean, you could obviously stitch around these. I have obviously just glued them, but... So over here, the guidelines are regular shops can start opening. I think they said from the 15th of June. Which, I mean, I have mixed feelings, and I know that, you know, I've talked about this loads of times before, so I won't kind of bore everybody again with that. But, yeah, I mean, I have to say, a couple of people have messaged me and, you know, said about, you know, like the thrift shops, which, I mean, we really call them charity shops here, but yeah, not that I need to go in a single, quite frankly, other shop probably ever again. But, yeah, I am looking forward to going in to some shops. You know, not regular shops, but like the charity shops. I mean, I'm really looking forward to going back to, you know, what we have over here as car boot sales, which I guess is probably like similar to a flea market. Well, yeah, it probably is. I mean, it's out of people's car boots, which I guess is kind of the same thing. I don't know whether flea markets really are in people's car boots or not, but yeah, I must say I'm looking forward to that. I mean, we don't have a huge car boot, to be fair. You know, our one is not a huge one, but having said that, there's this one chap who goes to ours who, you know, I don't know him obviously or anything like that, but I've seen him there a few times, and I've bought from him, you know, a few times. Oh my gosh, he has the most incredible things. I mean, a lot of it not really suitable, obviously, for what we're doing here, but sometimes he does, and you know, he's just really interesting to talk to. So I'm quite looking forward to going back to the car boot sale, and, you know, maybe he's bought some new stuff. Who knows? I mean, he must like be some sort of dealer or something like that. But yeah, I mean, as I say, a lot of the stuff isn't really things that we would use, but yeah, he does have some nice things. Right, so I'm just looking at the time. It's just coming up to 45 minutes, which I do try and keep these normally to around about, I break off at, you know, this sort of time to start just decorating one up. So let's just see how many we did. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gosh, we didn't seem to make very many of those, did we? I mean, I guess it was a bit faffy because we had to glue the, you know, book page down first. So maybe that's why. So which one shall we decorate up? I'm thinking we might decorate this one because this then would be ready to go into my project that, you know, I have been working on. So that would be quite a good one to do, really. So again, I'm just pulling out, you know, things that I've just got laying around here. I'm not really, you know, I'm not really kind of paying much attention to what it is that I'm putting in. I'm just seeing what I've got, basically. Of course, I have my bling. And Laura, so kindly, thank you so much, Laura. She gifted me loads of bling, which is absolutely awesome because I was beginning to run low. And of course, the shop where I buy it has not been open, is still not open. And I thought, oh no, I'm going to actually run out of bling. And I, of course, had a lot of it and thought that I had plenty to keep me going. But I mean, it is surprising how quickly this stuff goes, isn't it? When you use a lot of it. And yeah, so she so kindly gifted me not only some bling, but she also so kindly gifted me a load of Fabri-Tac, which, oh my gosh, Laura, I am so appreciative of that. Thank you so much. That is just like amazingly kind of you. So yeah, I have plenty of glue now, and I have plenty of bling, and yeah, and obviously I have plenty of napkins and what have you. And I've also got another amazing Happy Mail that Mary so kindly gifted me, which the video to that hasn't gone up yet, but it will be going up, you know, soon. I have done the video. It's just that it sort of follows on. And then I've done some other follow-on videos from that, if you see what I mean. So yeah, it will be going up, and oh my gosh, thank you so much, Mary. I know that obviously I have messaged you, but I can't thank you enough. It's like changed my whole life. So thank you, thank you. Again, I just go back to, I really am blown away by how many kind people that are out there. I just, well, I can't believe it. So thank you so, so much. Yeah, can't believe it. And, you know, if you follow my channel regularly, I mean, I feel slightly embarrassed talking about this, to be honest, but you may have noticed. At this point, as I'm filming, I'm approaching my, and I feel embarrassed to literally even say this, 20,000 subscribers. Like, oh my gosh, that's like, I can't believe it. I literally am blown away. Literally, I'm speechless. I can't believe it. So, of course, I have a giveaway coming up. Now, I do have a giveaway coming up, and I've got a few things planned for the giveaway. One of which I bought, you know, a couple of weeks ago in prep, you know, in preparation for the giveaway. And then I have also a couple of things that I have made, but those videos where I've made them haven't gone up yet. So yeah, I will be doing a giveaway. I have got the prizes all planned, you know, and I'm not kind of ignoring the situation or anything. But if the giveaway doesn't get listed instantly, it's because those videos haven't gone up, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't want people to think that I'm just being ungrateful or ignoring, you know, what's going on. I'm so not. I'm speechless. You know, like, oh my gosh, literally can't believe it. Yeah, wow. Well, I literally don't even know what to say. I'm so speechless. I mean, other than thank you so much to everybody. I feel so incredibly lucky. I mean, we have the most incredible, you know, community on here, and I have just met such a lot of absolutely lovely people through here. And I mean, you know, to me, that 20,000 is just like a crazy number. Like, literally, I feel embarrassed to say it. It's such a crazy number. Yeah, well, I literally don't know what to say. I know that I'm waffling and stumbling, but because that's how I honestly feel about it. It's like, oh my gosh, this is just embarrassing probably to even say. So yeah, thank you so much. And thank you so much to everybody who's, you know, both sort of new people who've just joined me. I so appreciate, you know, your coming on board. It's just fantastic to have you. And of course, you know, to all of those amazing people who have been with me, you know, since the early days, or, you know, since middle days even. I so appreciate everybody. It's just awesome. You know, this definitely, you know, other than having children, this has been like the most exciting thing that's really ever happened to me in my life. Yeah, I getting all a bit emotional now, but I probably should just shut up now before I feel really embarrassed. But yeah, I just feel completely like overwhelmed a little bit. So yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I have never met such lovely, kind people. And, you know, I know that we talked about at the beginning of lockdown, the whole Be Kind movement, you know, that sort of, well, hopefully is going to be happening still. I mean, it's obviously been superseded a little bit by the coronavirus thing. But, you know, being kind, it's such an important thing, isn't it? Because, I mean, how hard is it to just be kind to people and be loving and, you know, and I just feel like actually I have met such a lot of kind people through here that, you know, I feel just so, so, so blessed. I mean, like these butterflies, to think that just, you know, Gwendolyn was at home and she literally thought to do this for, you know, for me. And I know that she sent some possibly to some other people as well. I mean, that's so incredibly special, isn't it? That, you know, others think of other people when they're just at home in their sort of quiet day, if they're having a dreary day, you know, because just little things like this, just, they can just cheer your spirits and lift your spirits so much. So, yeah, I really do, yeah, just appreciate every one of you so, so much. Thank you to everybody. And honestly, I mean, I so get the whole not commenting thing, you know. I know I've said this before, but I mean, I'm normally watching, when I watch is, you know, of course, when I'm doing my workout, I'm not normally watching when I'm crafting because I'm normally filming. You know, I don't that often do crafting anymore without doing videos. Or if I do, it's maybe like in the evening while we're watching TV. So it's like a bit of TV crafts or something. So my main time for watching is whilst I'm doing my workout in the morning. And so, you know, of course, that's not really very conducive to commenting. So, you know, occasionally people kind of almost apologise and say, oh, you know, I've been watching you for a long time, but I don't very often comment, you know. Please don't feel that you have to comment or, you know, the need to apologise, because honestly, I mean, I just really appreciate your support by watching in the first place. And I just hope that you do enjoy when you're watching. And that's, you know, that's good enough for me. So, yeah, thank you so much for, you know, for doing that and for sticking with me. And, you know, I just hope that you do really honestly get a lot from the videos and, you know, have just the nicest time. And, yeah, I mean, I just think let's all just be kind to one another and, you know, make life nice and make the world a better place just in our small ways that we can. Because that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, just be nice and hopefully kind of good things then will happen. Okay. So I might just pop that little bit of lace there just because, you know, I'd cut it off and so now I've got it just laying around on the desk really. So I might as well just add it in there like that. But that butterfly looks really pretty there. So thank you so much, Gwendolyn. I really do appreciate those. And yeah, it's just the perfect addition there. And I'm just going to then pop a little bit of bling in the centre of that butterfly. Just there. So pretty, just to finish it off. They're really pretty colours, those butterflies. They're, I don't know whether Gwendolyn has a shop. I don't think she does, but I could be completely wrong. So she didn't mention to me that she had a shop. But they're very pretty and, yeah, really nice colours. So thank you very, very much. Right, so let me just show you how that would look on a page. I don't know if I've got anything page-like here. Have I got anything page-like? Not really. Well, I will just use this. So just to give you an idea of how this would look. So obviously on a page, and I would just glue on 3 sides. So you'd have a pocket here in the side, and then the top. Again, now I haven't really got anything to use as, oh, here we go. So the top would be a pocket here. This is probably a bit wide to go into that pocket. Yeah, I mean, that's a bit wide, but you know, technically you would have a pocket at the top. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything to fit in there, but you'd have a pocket at the top and then glue it down on 3 sides and you'd have a pocket at the side. And again, you know, we could round these corners and that just makes it look a little bit more sort of finished off. I don't need to round that one because obviously it's hidden behind the lace, but I'll just kind of lace this up a little bit. Ink it up a little bit. I just ink that lace up a little bit as well. And that bit there. So really pretty, aren't they? And yeah, I mean, I hope that you liked them. I hope you have fun. Sorry for the bit of emotional waffling that went on just then. But yeah, rest assured, I do have something planned for my 20,000 subscriber giveaway. It's because I had made one of the things and you haven't seen how they're made yet. So it seems a bit strange to put them up. Right, I did just find something that I could pop in here to just, you know, show you, because I think it kind of doesn't really do it justice otherwise. So, yeah, just to show you, you know, how this looks as a pocket, because I think it just looks lovely once it's actually used as a pocket rather than, you know, with something too big to fit in. So that's how that is, obviously, as a pocket. And then, as I say, you know, you'd have it glued down on 3 sides, so you'd have then a side pocket there. So, yeah, I really hope that you like them, and you know, I hope that you have fun if you decide to make some, or if you're even mass making something completely different. I hope that you stay along, or, you know, stayed along for the journey. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Be kind, everyone, and stay safe. Bye.